In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a tension sculpture. A tension sculpture is a sculpture that holds itself together, so there is no glue. It's just each of the pieces holding each other in place. So all you're going to need for this are some pieces of cardboard. So I have an old box, and what you're going to do is we're going to cut that down into shapes. And there are two types of shapes you can use. One type of shapes you can use are geometric shapes. Those are shapes you hear about a lot: circles, octagons, triangles, squares, rectangles, ovals, diamonds, stars. The other type of shape you can choose to use are what are called free-form shapes. They're also called organic shapes or natural shapes. And the difference is that these are more imperfect shapes. Things like leaves or raindrops, puddles, clouds, treetops, rocks. But shapes you would see out in nature, shapes that are imperfect. And the nice thing about these is that they really make an interesting sculpture, especially an abstract sculpture, and you can't do them wrong. But you can cut out one or the other, doesn't matter. If you want yours to be more realistic, like if you want your sculpture to look like a person, you might stick with some of these, like for heads and arms and stuff. But what I did first was I cut part of mine into long strips, because those can be a fun thing to have in there. But when you're cutting out your free-form shapes, the cool thing about those is that you can't really cut it wrong. You just kind of wiggle your scissors as you're going, and whatever you come out with is what it is. And the other thing that I like about freeform shapes is that then you can use those weird kind of shapes that are like the extra, and that can just be the start of your next shape. So that's going to be a really kind of funky shape there. So, and I'm going to make some that are smaller and some that are bigger than others, just to make it more interesting. You can use more than one box so you get different colors. So like I have all of these from one box, but then I might take a different box and cut out some other shapes just so I get some other colors in there. One thing that I try to do anytime I'm cutting is I give both of my hands a job. So one hand gets to turn while the other hand gets to cut. That way they both have important work to do. This is also a fun thing to do with just scraps that you may have laying around, because you would usually not think that you could do anything with these. So once you have your pieces cut out, then we're ready to start putting this together. And the way we start to put this together is you're going to simply decide where you want to join two pieces together and make a small cut. So I'm going to make a small cut in this one, and then I'm going to make a small cut in another one, and then I'm going to slide those two spots together. And just by joining those two together, it starts to become a tension sculpture. Those two pieces are holding each other in place. And what I'm going to do is continue to do that. So places that I want something to be, I'm going to make a little cut in those spots, and that's going to be how I start to bring my sculpture together. Those long strips that I was talking about, I'm going to move those away so I don't have to. So those long strips that I was talking about, what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to use those to kind of bridge things together even. You can use longer pieces to do this of just the organic shapes too. But one thing you can do with those is I can use those to kind of to hold these things in place. So I'm going to slide one end of that long strip together, and then I'm going to bring it in over here too. So that's all you really have to do with these sculptures, is just decide where you want something to go and just make little cuts and slide them into place. And you can make abstract sculptures this way. You can make sculptures that are meant to look like something as well. All that you're really limited by is your imagination. So have fun, and I would love to see what you make if you would like to share it with me. Have a great day. Happy making!